Afternoon everybody, I'm here today to do a mini album tutorial for some of the ladies over on the Trinket Parlour Facebook group who have never made a mini album and would like a tutorial and has asked me to do one. So that's what I'm here today, but obviously open to everybody. You're all welcome. Comments, questions, contact me either on Facebook or here. A lot of the inspiration and techniques of the album are from Shelley Geigel. Now, I used to make mini albums, then I watched Shelley Geigel's tutorials, and now I make them Shelley Geigel's way because I just like the way she does it and how it all comes together. So I'll leave a link down below to the Trinket Parlour on Facebook and also to Shelley's channel because she does some amazing tutorials. I'm going to go through all the tools that we need, some of the, glues, that sort of thing, and the pages, sizes, all that sort of thing. And I'm going to do this in part one and then build the base of the album, all in part one, hopefully. Then in part two, I'm going to decorate the cover, add the closure, and probably do pages 1 and 2 and so on. I'm not sure how long a video I can upload to YouTube. Uptube, there's a new word, all right? Uptube. So I'm not sure how long they can be, so I'm going to try and get them all done in about an hour, and hopefully I'll be able to upload them. So that's it. So let's go through what I am going to be making today. Let's start with the tools. You will need a pen and pencil, a scoreboard and a trimmer. If you haven't got a scoreboard, you can use your trimmer as long as you've got one of these to score. This black one is for scoring. If not, you can use the old-fashioned pen and pencil and score and cut that way. So whatever is your favourite or what you have available to you. So that's those. You're also going to need some scissors. I've got a small pair just for any little cutting, and then a big pair. I've got my craft knife, don't laugh. Here's Stanley. This is what I use to cut chipboard if I don't use my trimmer. I've now started using my trimmer, but this is how I used to do it. A metal ruler. Mark my page with a, this is for chipboard, obviously. Mark what size I want it and then cut it. So be careful with your blades, ladies and gents. And you're also going to need some glue. Now, I recommend this 3-in-1 beacon glue. You can get this from the Trinket Parlour as well. This is where I get mine from, but I haven't got a lot of that left, so I bought some of this high-tack glue yesterday as well. Okay, just in case I run out. You will need some score tape. Now, this is just strong adhesive, ideal for general crafting and more. This is what we use on our pages. And then for our spine and putting the album together, we're going to use this red line tape because it's stronger. Okay. What else? I am going to use a border punch. If you have a border punch, then you are welcome to use it. You don't have to. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. Also, if you have border dies and you want to die cut your borders, you're welcome to do that. I am just going to use this. Okay. So that's about it for the bits and pieces. Now, for the actual album, it's what I will say is when, sorry, let's just get back to the cutting the chipboard. When you cut your chipboard, don't use your best blade. Get an old one if you keep your old ones, or use this one and put a new one in to cut your paper with, all right? I use a different one to cut my chipboard so that I don't blunt. This is a brand new one, which I want to use to cut my pages so I don't get any yuckies on the pages. And then, of course, the scoring, the black bit is to score, so that helps you. What I do with chipboard, because it's quite thick to cut through, I score it and I push it down really, really hard so it gives a nice groove that you can then cut, and then I flip it over and cut the other side, you know. So that's how I do that. Right, for the album itself, you're going to need 2 pieces of 12 by 12 chipboard, grey board or blackboard, whatever you want to call it, and whatever you've got. I don't think Emily's got any in at the moment, but if anybody needs chipboard, you used to be able to get it at Phil's Papers on YouTube. I'm not sure if he's still, not YouTube, sorry, on eBay, but if you can't get it, let me know, I can get it for you. So with your 12 by 12, the first thing you're going to do is cut down 2 pieces. Okay, this is your front cover, this is your back cover. This is 10 by 8 inches. Okay, I work in inches. So again, then what you, oh sorry, down here, when you've cut, keep all your pieces, okay, on the same, you've only got 2 pieces, so make sure you cut them correctly, and then you should have a bit left on the end like this. Okay, this is your spine, and it is 8 by 3. Okay, so any questions, just ask. Now for our paper, I am using, not for paper, sorry, for cardstock. I'm using this premium black cardstock, and it's 12 by 12, 225 GSM, and there's 20 sheets in there, which is plenty. Once you've cut your pages down, keep all your bits and pieces, because we will use these as pockets and fold outs and all that sort of loveliness. Okay, so with your card, you are going to cut, you will need 2 12 by 12s for this, and then you will cut these down to 10.5 by 12. Okay, 10.5 by 12, and then you want another piece that is 4 by 12, and those 3 pieces are to wrap the covers of the album. And then for inside, for the front inside cover, you want a piece that is 9.5 by 7.5, twice, 2 of those for the inside covers. And then for the inside spine cover, you need another piece that is 3 inches by 7.5 inches. Then for the pages, you will cut them down to 10 1/8 by 7.5 inches, okay? And then with the long bit, the 10.5 inches across the top, you're going to score down the right hand side at 9.5 inches. I don't know if you can see that in this light. That's my score there, okay? And these are your pages, and you want 4 of those. I'm not doing loads and loads, 6 pages, including the front and back, because that's 6, 7, 8 pages, because it's too much and it's too long. So I've got 4 pages, and of course the inside cover and the back cover will count as my extra 2 pages. Okay, so that's all the card that you want cutting down, and then of course the rest of the pack and the cut-offs and what have you we will use to make all pockets and tags and whatever we need. Now, what I did forget to say is that the paper that I'm using is the Alice paper from Stamperia. And I've got a 12 by 12, 10 double-faced side packs. And then I've got another one that is 8 by 8. So what I want to do, the reason the album will be a landscape album, so the 10-inch will go across and the 8-inch will be up, and the reason for this is because the images in the 12 by 12 that I want to use are about that size. Even, you know, to cut them down out of a 12 by 12, you need them a good size, so hence I'm doing it landscape and not a portrait album. So that's that. The last thing you're going to need is some Tyvek. Now, I don't know if any of my ladies on the Trinket Parlour know of Tyvek. It's an envelope and it's really strong material. It doesn't rip or anything. So, and I use these on my spines, on my joins of the album. Shelley Geigel, again, idea came from her. And it just stops the album falling apart, okay? So if you want to get Tyvek, again, have a look on Evil Bay. And you should be able to get some, or you might even, you know, postal suppliers, anything like that. Okay, and just, I mean, I've got a pack of these that I've had for years, and they're A4 size envelopes, so you can see how much I've used off that one. So yeah, you just want to cut 2 strips off the Tyvek that are 2 inches wide by 8 inches tall. Okay, so I think that is everything we need. Let's get me notes. Of course, you're going to need your flowers, your lace, your embellishments. One thing I did forget is I'm going to be using some distress ink. You don't have to, but I just like to edge my papers. And this is the Age Mahogany. And I'm just using a sponge to do it, because all of my finger bobbers and things have all got different colours and I've got no spares for that. So I think that's it, ladies. So let's get on with it, shall we? Let's get on with it. The first thing you're going to need is your chipboard pieces, your Tyvek, and your outer cover wraps. Okay, so I'm just making some room here, getting my bits out the way. So the first thing we want to do is put our chipboard aside for a minute. We want to join these 3 pieces together, okay? So we're going to join those 2 so that when we lay our spine chipboard piece down, I think I've got about a 1.5 inch gap all the way round. So when we do that, the spine piece will take the join, and then we will overlap that at the back. And you won't see it once the paper's on. You won't see it anyway. So so that's what we're going to do. So to do that, we want some nice strong tape. Okay, so this is where your red line or your blue line, whatever you want to use, because we can't get what's it called, score tape. We can't get score tape over here, so in the UK, so we have to use this. So on the right hand side, you are just going to, without going over the edge, add your score tape, and then cut the top. Now I know what I did forget to get out. Not in there anyway. You definitely need one of these, score tool. And you're going to make sure that red line tape is down properly. No air bubbles or anything like that. Okay. This is 1/2 inch, I think. Sorry, yeah, 1/2 inch. Okay, so that's on the first cover wrap, which again is 10.5 by 12. So on the second piece, you want to do the same thing on the right hand side, add your red tape. I'm sorry if I'm off camera. I usually do lives and I can see myself, so and I can't see myself recording like this. So again, burnish that right down. Okay. So that's that. That's all you need for that. Put the tools away. Clean up as I go along is the theory. Right, so now we're going to attach. And again, this is another trick that I learned from Shelley. When you attach, if you put your paper onto a surface with a straight edge, it's going to be easier to line it up and join it together. Okay, so make sure it will overhang one side. Let me just, but you just need to make sure that it's butted up to that top line properly. Then you want to take off your tape, and if that's burnished down, it comes off really easy, but it does tend to stick to you. Okay, so and then you want to line the edge up and the top and the bottom. Okay, and then the same for the last piece. Actually, I know what I meant to say is, because we're overlapping the last piece, you want to also put some score tape on the back of here so that it all grabs properly. Okay, so it will go like that. I'm going to put a bit more on. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, so then, so I need to burnish it, of course. Where's my... Burnish those down. Make sure they're not going to come up. I want a nice, good stick. Right, so again, you want to pull those off. Ah. What we're going to do is overlap that, butt it up. How much is that? That's about right. Okay, so that's that done. Let me get rid of my bits. And those red things that cling to everything. Okay, so that's our outer covers cover. So now what we want to do is place our front cover. So you've got a 1.5 inch gap all the way round, okay? Oh, sorry, is it 1 inch? Yeah, 1 inch, sorry. 1¼ at the bottom. So if I come in 1¼ might have to push it back a bit. That's about right. Okay, make sure it's straight. No, I'm going to go back a bit, 1 inch. And then you want your spine piece, wherever that is. There it is. But you want to leave a nice gap. Let me just put it on and show you. Shall I? So that's what we're going to be doing. Placing it all down like that. So we need to cover and glue. I'll be using both our back pieces. So let's move that out of the way for a moment. Now I'm going to go round the edge with my, and be careful on chipboard with this red tape, because if you don't burnish it down properly it does pull the chipboard up. So be careful. Am I on camera? No. Sorry if I go off camera. You'll have to bear with me, ladies, when I remember to check that I'm in frame. And then down the middle. You should be able to get this craft tack in the range. You can buy it in the range, and you can buy it. I'm hoping I'm going to have enough now for all my bits I need. Okay, you need more on the front cover because that's the one you're going to decorate. Doesn't matter so much on the back. So again, I'm going to go around all the sides. Ignore that because that was from another mini album I was going to make ages ago and I never did it. So as I said, it's not going to hold as much, so you don't need as much of this. We can add some glue. Okay, so that's the back one done, and then you just want to do your spine as well. Should have bought some more of this. Oh, I've got some blue actually. I'll use that if I run out. Which I am going to do. Oh, don't get a lot, do you? And then I just use the last piece to go down the middle. Waste not, want not. So, don't need that. So, as I said, you do need to make sure this is all burnished down properly. So that it doesn't stick to the chipboard when you're taking the backing off, and then it pulls the chipboard up, so just be careful. Okay. Better to be safe than sorry. Don't want your album to fall apart, ladies, so take the time to do this sort of thing. Okay, so that's oh, let me do my spine piece as well. Okay, so that's that done. So now we are going to add them to here. So take your front one first. Now I need something to take, as I said, as long as it's burnished down properly, it will come off without pulling up your chipboard. Okay. Don't tug away at it. Ease it up gently because it is really strong, so oh, I think the farmer's shooting today by the sounds of it. Pheasants by the sounds of the banging. Oh. So you have to be careful. If it won't come up, go to the other end. Okay. So we want a nice border, top, bottom and side, and you want to get that on there as straight as possible. Okay. So that's that done. Then we want the spine piece. Sorry, I was off camera, wasn't I? So a nice border. And then we want this piece. Okay, so we want a nice, let me get 2 bits of scrap. Now what I've done there is I've just got 2 scraps of chipboard and I've just put them together, okay? Because we want a nice gap down here when we add our spine. So you need to line it up, top and bottom. Oh, excuse my chair scraping. So that looks about right to me. Okay, and then you've got a nice gap there, which is what you want. Now we're going to put the back cover on. So again, take your backing off. You can put some glue, which is what I meant to do in between, but I forgot. The red stuff got rid of, dries me mad. So if you have got any beacon, you can, which is what I meant to do on the front, but I'm not lifting it up now. Just go in between your, or any strong glue, it doesn't have to be beacon, any strong glue, just go in your gaps. If you want to put a bit around the edges, you can do so, okay? Just be careful because it does leave glue strands. So the same thing, we want our 2 pieces of chipboard and we want them, sorry, there goes the chair again, pushed up against there. And again, you want to line it up, oh, top and bottom, push it in and then push it down. So that looks about right, okay. So then you want to get your scoring tool. And what we're going to do is help bend these up and give it a little helping hand with your score tool. Oh, sorry, just bashed the camera. Same for this side. Fold it up. Give it a little helping hand. Fold it over. And the same. Or, oh, I'm trying to get in camera, the top, bend it all over, and then just use your score tool just to go along that edge and bring that down. It will be thicker on the right hand side where you've put your join, okay, but don't worry about that. Okay, so when that's done, turn it over and the same thing. Bring up your paper, your card, sorry, and then just use your score tool. Give it a nice crease where you want to fold it, right? So once you've done that, we could have used that some of that red score tape, but I only bought one. I don't think I need any more. Oh, actually, I've got the blue one. Let me try that. See how much of that I've got. Look what I found. So I've got the blue one, that's 1/4 of an inch. And then I found some more red, which is 1/4 of an inch. And I do think the red is actually stronger than the blue, so that was handy. I didn't know I had that. So what we're going to do, we're going to go along all the corners and the outside of the chipboard. Sorry, the card. So all around. Oh. So start one end, right up to the top. Can't see very well like this. Okay. Straight over. Okay. Okay, and then the bottom, same thing. Start one end and go all the way without cutting where the gaps are. You don't need to worry about those. Okay, might put some more on, but see how much I've got first. And then down the sides. Alright, let's put that glue out of the way, and then we're going to do the same for the card. Start at the top and just make sure you keep it on the card and don't go over. You can just glue this. If you've got that beacon glue, you don't have to have this tape. You can just glue it. To the bottom. and then both ends. We are going to cut the corners off, so rather than mucking about, I just put it all on. Okay. So the same thing, you are going to burnish all of it down. Okay. Okay, like that. And then the same for the outer. You can see where you burnish it because it goes darker. So you know that it's down properly. Excuse me. Excuse me. I just need to get a drink. Okay, I won't leave it on my table because I will knock it over. Oh dear. Make sure you get those joins. And then the bottom. Okay. So then we want to peel it all off. Get all that lot out the way for a moment. Gently. Again, make sure it's all stuck down properly and the backing tape will come off nice and easy. You know what? Before we do that, use your big scissors. Okay, so they've got a nice gap. Excuse me, I've got to get another drink. Why do you always get a coughing fit when you're recording? Right, so what you want to do is the edge of the chipboard, you need to leave about 1/8 of an inch gap. So what I do is like that, and then just like that. Okay, so can you see that gap? And that's to make sure you get your corners properly. So just the other side. And then the same for the other one. You can just cut straight across, but I don't want it to take too much away. Okay. Get rid of them, you don't want them. Right, so you want your tool. I'm going to put the top and bottom down first. Okay. And then we're going to bring the edges in. Okay, so make sure you've got a nice edge. Oh, is that up already? Did I pull that off already? I did, but I didn't pull the top off, did I? So I'm not going to pull that up. Okay, same thing, make sure it's up, give it a helping hand if it needs it. And then start in the middle, pull it down and out. Okay, so down and out. Alright, so when we do the edges, I might have cut that one a little bit too small, look. You just want to push those notches in. These little bits here that hang out. Let me open that again. See that? You just want to push that in like that. Take your backing off. Ooh. See, pulling up the chipboard. That's better. What's that there? I didn't take that bit off. Let's see if I can. No. So remember to take both pieces off, ladies, unlike myself. And you want to, again, bring it down and push it down. All right. Same for this side. Get your backing off. Oh, nightmare. Again, bring it up and burnish it in. Fold your sides in. There. And then from the middle out. Okay. Okay. So let me get rid of my red tape back in because it drives me mad. Okay, so now what we want to do is just where your holes are, you just need to gently rub it, just to crease it a bit, and then you want to